said I wanted to be in
back
Warcraft.
to the stage at PAX East 2016. I am your host, Man from Man vs. Game. We have a particularly hype segment here right now. I don't know if you are feeling the hype after that trailer. But yes, I am joined by, Duncan Jones, director of the film, Rob Kazinsky, star of the film, and Pancake Pal on the end.
I'm geeking out right here.
All awesome people. Thank you so very much for joining us today.
Our pleasure. His pleasure.
Yes.
Well,
So,
This is your guys'
hey,
it's my
it is a natural. We got that one out of the way. So Warcraft, the
Yes.
film,
Yes.
it's coming out.
Finally. Yes.
What day is it again?
June
I
10th.
don't even know what day it is today.
It's coming out June 10th, which is a
June 10th.
Thursday, Friday. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to be.
It's the correct day of the week for
The
these
correct
things
day.
to happen.
It's
Yes.
a weekday.
And it's 3.5
7.
years after
be
starting to work on it.
a
So
good
it's been
day.
a
Is
long
it?
marathon.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
we are so excited.
Oh, it
Finally.
looks beautiful. Like you've captured, like to me, the feel of the game, the art direction, while still being like a live action film.
Yeah, thank you.
It is like even when we first started seeing glimpses of the armor and the shields
Yeah.
from the Alliance, which by the way I am for the Alliance. I gotta say. Which I'm feeling the glare here. I'm feeling. Oh God. Okay. I've screwed it up already. How has it been? Just like being a part of this project.
It's been amazing. I mean, they've been working on making this film for a long time. I was able to squeeze myself into the process when it was kind of a little bit stalled for a while. And ever since then, I've been working with Blizzard and Atlas and Legendary and making this film and Universal releasing it. It's very, very exciting. It's a big movie, and I think there's been a lack of big fantasy, I think, since Peter Jackson's first Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Absolutely.
And it's just exciting to bring something which I hope is going to feel as real and big as that.
Oh, absolutely. It looks as though you've nailed.
Yeah.
You did it. Yeah, you nailed it.
And you guys are Warcraft players coming into this.
Yes,
so
we are.
how is that for you? When you got the call, like, all right, this is green lighted, we're doing this.
Well, I mean, I can't, Rob's story is extraordinary. My background
Please.
is.
I was born on a Tuesday. No, it was, yeah, I mean, I was a big gamer. I was a big player of the game. I was in a top 100 guild. I was ranked on World of Logs top 10 in my class for 3 years.
Top 9.
I did everything that there was possible to do. I mean, back in Wrath for the Lich King times, I had 450 days played, and then I kind of dropped away after Cataclysm, and now I just play I'm a dirty casual keyboard turning raider. But for me, it was a game that kind of it changed my life in a lot of ways, and it was more than just a game to me. It was a community of people, and a community of the same 35-ish people that I've been playing with for over a decade.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So when the film came around, when Duncan called me to offer me the job, they were recording me. It was him, Gillian Scher, and Stuart Finnegan on the other side. They were recording me because they were expecting this giant and it went like this. Rob, we'd like to offer you the job. I was like, cool. And the reason I was like that was not because I wasn't excited, but because the relief was so enormous to me that I would get to be a part of it. Because if it had gone past and I hadn't been a part of this movie, it would have felt like I'd missed something so important to my life.
I remember that call
Yeah,
like it was
so
yesterday.
cool. Yeah.
I rang you up and I said, how would you like to be Orgrip Doom Chisel?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I've still got a video somewhere. I should drag it out. I should drag it out.
That is so cool. I love that like reversal of feelings because like I can, I like to think, or I'm thinking that like the pressure, like because
Yes.
I'm sure Blizzard, like this is their baby, like they want things to be just so.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons it took such a long time to get the film made is because understandably Blizzard wanted it to be right.
Sure.
And there were so many ways it could have not gone right, and they took their time and they made sure that it happened. And fortunately, Rob and myself and a number of other people who were involved at the core of the team were Warcraft players ourselves. I mean, I was playing, Orcs and Humans and all the real-time strategy games when they came out 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of us involved who really loved the entire history and of those games and, where they came from. And we wanted to do it justice as well. And I think because we were involved, we saw things with an eye that, that Blizzard did as well. So there was a lot of, it was very copacetic.
Yeah, exactly. When you have something like this. There is a tendency in these big budget things that they become a money machine. You know, it becomes
Right.
about making a viable product.
Sure.
But then, you know, from my perspective of being a fan of the product itself before it became a film, it was incredibly encouraging to see Bill Westenhofer, to see Duncan and Stewart, to see so many, and believe me, a lot of the crew up there, a lot of the crew were Warcraft players. So you had this kind of passion project with a tentpole budget. And that doesn't happen, you know what I mean? So it was an incredible thing to be a part of, to see it done right and done big, you know, because the two aren't often symbiotic, and in this case they were.
Absolutely. And I think it's, you know, and Blizzard is smart that way. I think they understand it, like, when you get people who actually have a love for the original games, you
I
know.
mean, their quality control is right up there. I mean, if you just look at what they've done with game design, you know, a lot of the time something's just not working, they just don't let it happen. You know, they wait until it's right, and I think that's their modus operandi, and that's why they make everything they put out is great.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, they had the highest level of you know, quality standards for everything that they put out. So
I want to know something. What were the challenges working on this film? Because this is like such a, like, there's just so much going on, right? I'm trying to think, like, the process and the layering.
I mean, every department is just on a scale unlike anything I've done before.
Okay.
You know, I've done a couple of films beforehand, and you know, Moon was a tiny little thing, and Source Code was a decent step up, but then this was just on a whole different level.
Right.
And I think, on a personal level, the thing that was the biggest challenge was just the marathon aspect of it.
Okay.
Keeping the attention to detail and the focus and maintaining the discipline to make sure that things went exactly the way you wanted it when the scale of everything was so huge. And doing it for 3.5 years. You know, it's difficult to, you know, to keep that level up.
Wow.
So,
for you, any challenges?
Put on the pajamas, right?
I mean,
The spandex suit?
that Toby Kebbell was a challenge, wasn't he? But, honestly, for me, it was, and it's mainly because of the good, you know, pre-production that goes on in these things, and the set that you made. Not to sound like a sucker, but my job was the easiest it's ever been. You wear pajamas.
And not laugh when Clancy Brown rides a wolfhound.
That was hard. That was hard. That was a hard day. There's a day where Clancy Brown had to ride up on a frost wolf.
Oh, man.
And look out over to this field of things and say, "Ride off, let's go."
And then he's on a little rock, he's on a little
and it was literally,
like a green, like, couch.
it's time to move, let's go. Why aren't you moving? And it was just, it looked so ridiculous to have this big guy in his 60s, I think, ride up in his pajamas and give us orders, and then ride off being pulled by 3 crew members. It was just, there were so many silly things that you had to kind of get your head around before you, and just go, okay, whew, okay, I'm ready now. I'm ready. Let's do this.
I mean, I think that's where, like, you know, like performing and like acting in that kind of scenario, you know, we don't see it, of course. But
do you know, it seems counterintuitive until you realize that what you're doing is you're taking away all the barriers from your imagination.
And there was absolutely 2 teams of actors in this film. There was Horde and Alliance, and I think the way that the orcs bonded, with, you know, Clancy and Anna, you and Toby and Daniel
we were a proper team.
It was you know, they were just so comfortable working together. It was like when the humans came in the room, it was like.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, were there any, like, was there tension on set sometimes? You know,
there wasn't tension, but what was funny was, like, because we had been working together for so long, like the motion capture guys, and we know what it's like to work not motion capture, and then you had the actors in their armor, uncomfortable, miserable, who had no idea, and they just see us in our pajamas. There was this kind of, like,
there was definitely an us versus them thing for you guys.
There was definitely an us versus them thing, because they yeah, everyone was like, "Oh, you guys okay? Do you need help with your armor? Let me hold your hand." And we were just being cold and just like being like, "This is cool. This is fun. This is silly. Do you want a sandwich?" It was. We were pretty separate because there's only a few like times in the movie where orcs and humans cross over. So we didn't. The times when we actually did those scenes, it was really a meeting of strangers quite a lot of time, apart from read-throughs and getting drunk.
I think that's good, though, because it keeps, you know, for, like, the scenes,
really
keeps the tension there.
Definitely.
Well, we don't have much time left, unfortunately, but, like, if people are interested in seeing Warcraft, the film, where can they go to get all the information they need like social media?
Probably Chinese torrent sites.
Okay. Okay.
No,
man.
no, don't go there.
I love it. I
Don't
love
go
it.
there.
There's the legendary website.
Don't do that.
There's a Warcraft movie website. I don't know the words for it, but just go to Google and put
Warcraft
Warcraft
movie
.net.
Watch the trailers. Yeah.
It's not that hard, people.
Can I just say how happy I am to finally be at PAX? I remember when the first PAX was supposed to happen because I was a Penny Arcade fan, and I'm just so happy to finally be at PAX. I've never been to one. I'm so happy.
I love just like what a true like legit like geek like fan you are,
Yes.
like just like loving like being here at PAX.
Yeah,
like
it's very cool.
I'm jaded right now. It's like I've been doing these things like every PAX for the past few years, but man, it has been so wonderful having you guys
Thank
here on the
you.
stage.
Thank you for having us.
Our pleasure.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes.
His pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
We're all pleasured up here. We are going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with more content here from PAX East 2016. Stay tuned.